how much does your interaction with fans influence how your foundation works and how you start to give back? And is it part of that community sense that you get from your fans that drives what you do in the community, or is it something separate?
Well, the inspiration for my foundation helps to build public skate parks in low-income areas. We actually have one here in New Orleans, but in all 50 states, we've done over 500 now. But the inspiration came long before social media. It was more just going out and seeing the need for these types of facilities, because at the time, and it's still true, skateboarding is bigger than Little League, but there's all these empty fields not being used, and there's no skate parks, and the kids are skating in the malls and getting kicked out, or skating in the street, and there just was this disconnect between the city councils and the kids that were in those areas. And so I wanted to bridge that gap, and more so to be a resource for that. These days, I mean, most definitely listen to the fans, but if you listen to the fans when you have a charity, the fans say, "You should build me a skate park in Fargo." Okay, but why don't we can help you build a skate park in Fargo if you want to take the initiative to petition the city council. We'll give you all the tools on how to do it, but we want to empower the kids that do need these facilities. That's really what we do. So our biggest grant is $25,000 for a project. That doesn't build an entire skate park, but it gives them an endorsement and usually helps to secure other funding as well. So for me, we're listening, and we definitely are taking note of the areas where they are lacking in those types of facilities. But at the same time, if you are just listening, it's more like, well, give me a park. Why don't I get a park? It's like, well, we want
so you have to
work into it.
Do you guys also have kind of a community-centered part of your fan, or part of kind of your efforts?
I do. Well, I'm unfortunately, comedy, I don't feel helps. You know, it's not like something I can do to go and help poor people and be like, here's some jokes, everyone. So what I do is, I find you just lend your name, lend your face.
Right.
You know, it's.
Have you done that often?
Yeah. I find it helps. It helps tremendously. It's. And at first you're afraid, I find that I didn't know what to do or where to do it. When you start finding the things that you're passionate about, that you can join in to help other people, So for instance, I did a thing, it's in South Africa and in other parts of the world, it's called the grassroots soccer, where they do the same thing as Tony does with the skate parks, but they do it with soccer fields around the world, and they create these little community centers where children can come in, just find a haven, in low-income areas where there's just a space for them to play in, where there's adults supervising everything, and it gives people a break from their world that may not be great, and also a space and environment for them to talk to one another. And then I'll go in there, and it's amazing what a difference you'll make. You just go there and you play soccer with the kids, and I beat them. Because I have to teach them about competition. I'm not going to let them win. But yeah, it just helps. It just helps to be a part of something. That's what I find.
How about you, Matthew?
Well, the show is always asked to participate in all kinds of charities, which you have no standard for. You literally we will send stuff to anybody who's having an auction, things like that. In terms of my personal life, I have causes that I am part of. I'm on the board of a couple of foundations. And I have used the show, I have to say, as the person who gets to decide what is merchandise and where it is to auction off. We've auctioned off the last 5 years. I never wanted to do it, but it was it turned out to be such a fundraising thing, but we would auction off a walk-on. So people for the ACLU did it online, and Planned Parenthood did it online, and they would raise $50,000 for someone to come out and basically get in costume and maybe be cut out of the show. But get to visit the show, and you have to bring a friend and a camera, set visits, things like that. And I think that philanthropy is not publicity. That's not the intention. But as soon as you realize that you have any ability to attract attention to a cause, and there are, I'm sure that some of the things that we've contributed to are not as viable as others, but I did not really issue much scrutiny to it at all. I'm sure I like being part of, it's not just my brother coming and saying, can you give us, a goodie, some swag for the school auction. It was really all over the country, and I can say that John